here tonight. Special KOF shout out to the homeboys at Dream Cancel. You know.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Dream Cancel podcast, and this is episode 111 of Dream Cancel Live. On this episode, we're going to talk about King of Fighters 15. It just got announced at Evo 2019 this past weekend. All we got is just an announcement. It was just text. It wasn't any visuals, anything like that. But it's confirmed. It's coming out. It is in development. So yeah, we're very excited about that. We're going to talk about what we want to see and experience in the game, and various other things concerning Evo briefly, and some other things that's kind of going on with the SNK scene at the moment. So I want to thank all y'all for joining us. If you are on Twitch, please give us a follow. If you are watching this on YouTube, please give us a like, subscribe, comment what you think of what you want in King of Fighters 15, and let everybody know. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Twitter, just let people know that we are live right now. We're podcasting, about to talk about King of Fighters 15 in a little bit. But before all of that, I would like to introduce the discussion panel for this episode. We have a very, very dope lineup for y'all. So, yep, I'm your host, Desmond, KOF. So our discussion panel is going to start with, we got from Philly, yo, Dizzy Kujaku, what's up, man? You there?
Yeah, hey, what's going on?
Oh, man, things are going great. Good to have you on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Also, East Coast representative, also Kick Punch Block, if I clear recall. We got Elkie Dory, Mr. King of Fridays himself.
Hey, how's it going on? I see how it is. DZ joins Dream Cancel, and now he gets top billing. Yeah, I'm going to call my agent. I ain't down with this. No.
Oh, man. Sorry. And
You gotta look out for your own boys. I understand.
Man, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's always
No problem.
good to have you on. All right, next up we have from Ohio. We got Kenshi Himura. What's up?
Yo, what's up?
Oh man, good to have you on as always. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm kind of a regular at this point.
Yeah, I know, right? It's almost I can't even count how many episodes.
Yeah, I love doing it, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Cool, great, man. Good to have you on as always. Like I said, so before we get into the main topic, just really quickly, would like to just throw out a couple, I would say, shout outs. Just mention some things that's kind of going on. Dream Council and SNK scene, super quick. So, all right. First and foremost, if you would like to support Dream Council, just go to dreamcouncil.com/shop. If you would like to donate to Dream Council, you can donate to our Patreon, and that link should be popping up sometime through the night chat. I'll post it up right now, just in case there's a little bit of delay. So this is our Patreon. And if you would like to donate to us monthly, we have some pretty good rewards. If you have any ideas for any rewards, please let us know. But anywhere from like $1 to $5 a month, if you would like to donate to the movement, feel free to keep Dream Cancel up and running and operational. Next up is our Discord. Feel free to join our Discord for matches in KOF and other SNK games, if possible and wanted. But majority is KOF, and we have a pretty interesting discussion and advice section there. So feel free to join us. we'll post the link. It should be in the description section, and we'll post it up in the stream chat if you're watching this right now. And also, you know what? Let me go back real quick to the Patreon thing. One of the rewards that we have is we have a custom fight stick cover. So if you would like a custom fight stick cover with your name and a Dream Cancel emblem up top, is one of the rewards. And even if you don't have a fight stick, or if you don't want to change the cover, if you just want like a cool, like, I would say desktop background or something like that, you know, you can have it just as a poster, or you can just print it out, put it on your wall, like I have. This is the one of King of Fighters 14. This one is of 13 with the background. So yeah, if you would like one, feel free to check out our Patreon. And you know what? That's kind of about it. So yeah, I would like to just jump straight into this main topic. So everybody pretty much knows at this point that of the King of Fighters 15 announcement, and everybody's pretty hyped. But the thing is that we didn't really see much. We didn't see much of anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to show the trailer real quick. I'm going to show it. It's just a couple seconds long. So we'll be right back, and we will come back for some discussion. All right, cool. All right, we're back. So yeah, it's now in development. So man, all right. So why don't we open things up to discussion panel, man? So man, what did y'all think when y'all saw that? When you were watching the stream, or if any of you were there. Go ahead, Elkie.
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't see it the same time everybody else saw it, because I was watching Street Fighter Top 8, and then I fell asleep. And then I didn't wake up until my phone started blowing up, because everybody had just seen the trailer, so I had to pull it up and actually just see it on repeat. And I mean, this is something we already knew.
Yes.
We knew it was in development, but for them to finally come out and say, in a kind of in a public sense and telling the actual community, yes, we're working on it. Did they outright say 2020?
They didn't say anything, man.
Because
I think in their financial budget they said they were planning for 2020, but they didn't say anything on the actual reveal. So that may or may not have changed. I think we just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think the 2020 is probably just tentative at this point.
Yeah.
So I was definitely kind of excited. I guess that means I'll be streaming for a while longer. So
Yeah.
I just can't just ride this game out until people aren't interested anymore. No, now everybody's looking forward to the next installment. So things just keep moving forward now. So I'm certainly excited about it, and I'm sure we have, out of just a few words on a screen, we'll be able to get about an hour or so worth of discussion out of just that.
Yeah, I know we're gonna squeeze like so much out of just a couple of seconds, but but yeah, most definitely, man. Yeah, a lot of people are kind of curious, man. A lot of people just want to know, just like what are they gonna like use, like how is it gonna look, how is it gonna feel. Yo, Kenshi, you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just muted.
Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do? Why don't we talk a little bit about what we want graphically and what we think they may use. So, if you could, what do you think that they may kind of what do you want as far as graphics go for 15. I was going to say 14.
Personally, I think what they did with Sam Show is pretty much perfect. I would like it to look similar, but more in a KOF art style than a Sam Show art style, obviously. And I feel like that would be the best bet because they already know how to use that graphics engine now. They know how to use Unreal, so
Yes,
that would make the most sense to me, rather than trying to do what they did with 14 using like an in-house engine. I feel like Unreal is the best way to go.
Okay. All right. Well said.
I think
go ahead.
they're almost certainly going to be Unreal for going forward until there's reason to switch off of it. Because it became very apparent they were kind of hitting a ceiling in what their own engine was capable of at the time, and instead of just continuing to develop that and reinventing the wheel, it was just far more economical to just license a proven engine and work within what it can offer. And between the lighting and the texturing and everything that it provides, it's just a smarter way to go. I think Sam Show kind of gave us a good idea of what we're going to look forward to. I really think they're going to be reusing models.
Yes.
Because you look at Nakaruru, for the 3D games that she came out in a row, she's really not that different. They changed her clothes for Sam Show.
Yes.
But if you see you see her face and you see her body and the dimensions of everything, like it's basically the same model, but it looks so much better in the new engine. So we'll get into it some when we talk about roster size and all, but if they just import those existing models, which aren't depending on the engine, they can drop those in any engine they want. And be able to reuse some of the work that they've already done, spruce them all up, and then be able to just bathe them in all these lighting and effects that they now have available. It's going to look really good.
Okay. Cool. Well said. Dizzy, what would you like graphically in 15?
I mean, Elki and Kenshi pretty much hit the nail on the head. I think with Unreal, they could do a lot more, spending a lot less, and get the game that we all wanted. Because even though a lot of people complain about how 14 looked, the models themselves were fine. I think it was the engine limiting just how detailed they were able to look when in motion and having effects applied and things like that. But like, I've seen people take those models out of the PC version and put them in like Street Fighter V's engine or Source Filmmaker and things like that, and those models look really, really good. Like, the lighting just doesn't do them justice in 14. I can admit to that. So yeah, if we just import those models, not only does it cut out some of the work for a lot of the staple characters, so that way like they only really have to make new models for new characters and characters who've never been in a 3D game before. And quite honestly, some of those characters even have 3D models in some of their mobile games. So if they just like spruce up the quality on some of those, or just even use them as a base, they wouldn't even have to work hard on those either.
Okay. Right. I agree with that 100%. I would say on my end, as far as graphics goes, they're gonna have to really like step it up this time, because so many people are like apprehensive, and like the graphics was just so memed out in 14, like it's ridiculous. So yeah, they're definitely gonna have to like really just go in on the graphics and like impress people beyond their expectations. I feel, whatever that may be. The best they can do is just like I said on Twitter, self shaded out or something like that. Just put, very good lighting effects on it, make it look as freaking anime as possible, or close to Guilty Gear, or whatever it may be, or make things look, I would say, maybe even like a fraction close to how they looked in King of Fighters 13, if that's possible. by just using polygons. But yeah, they're gonna have to really just use just good textures, man, and just good lighting. But I am optimistic, so hopefully we'll see something good. But I want to be like 100% like just impressed beyond what I may think. And yeah, they can't disappoint this time. The graphics, like they can't. If that happens again, then I don't even know what to say about that. But yeah, anyone else has any further thoughts on the graphics before we go to our next section?
Yeah, I hate to be that guy, but the people begging for sprites, we're not going back to sprites. Let's just get that thought out of our mind. Now, 13 art style can return. That's fine.
Yes.
Like if they decide to go that route, but we're not going back to sprites. It was a hassle. It was way too expensive to produce. That's why 13's roster wasn't as big as 14's was. That's why we had such a long hiatus between 13 and 14, because SNK almost bankrupted themselves again making those sprites for that game. It's a beautiful game, I agree, but economically, it's just not feasible at this point. Just let the 2D sprites go.
Yeah, I agree 100%, man. It's too bad because, like, man, like those sprites are beautiful, man, and like I don't even know like what did they do with those like resources that they built, man? Is it like on like a thumb drive somewhere? Like where is it at? Is it on like a DVD R drive or something? Like they can't use it no more, right? Like it's gone, But now like they have to move on and do something that's a little more efficient, and it might take them a while, if it's like to make something that looks really, really impressive. But hopefully with 15, they can turn some heads. With Samsho, it looks pretty good, and even like SNK Heroines at first, I thought, stepped it up in the graphics department, but we'll definitely.
Yeah, I felt like SNK Heroines was a better looking game than 14.
Yeah, I thought so too. I definitely thought so too in some areas.
You can even look at some of the characters that are like in both games and see the improvement. Like if you look at Mai, Athena, Leona, etc., like even the costumes they had, like the exact same costume in 14, they just look better.
Yeah.
When they made new models for female Terry, Shermie, etc., they all looked really good. Like you could tell, like man, they like you could see the improvement with their model creation, even when the second set of DLC characters came out for 14. Because if you look at like the first set versus the second set, and like how much more aesthetically pleasing they were, they over the last 3 years, SNK has, well, 4 years, because they've probably been producing 14 since 2015, but they've been slowly but surely making progress with like every single step, and I can really appreciate that.
Yeah, I agree. It's a steady, like step-by-step process. So hopefully for 15, like I said, I'm just so worried about the graphics. Like it has to look really, really good. It can't be mediocre stuff. What you gonna say, Elkie?
I mean, I really don't think there's any reason to worry about the graphics at this point, because SNK is doing something that some other companies aren't really doing so well on, and that is consistently putting out new games and new content, particularly new games, because a lot of games have been sitting out there for a while, and they keep throwing one patch, one more piece of, another, a couple more characters, a couple more of this. SNK since 2016 has now released 3 full-fledged games, and the only other company that's producing on that level is Bandai Namco. Like nobody else is being that productive.
Yeah.
And at that point, I think it's, people don't go worrying about, oh man, what if this is the last SNK game? It's like they just released one a couple, 2 months ago?
Right.
Samsho come out like a month and a half?
Yep.
And they're already announcing a sequel to the first one that they released during their comeback, and they don't show any sign of slowing down. And each game has sold well enough. Heroin sold way better than people kind of realize.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It launched as well as DOA 6 did. Now you tell me which game was more expensive to make. So I think it's been smart business from them ever since the restructuring and them returning. And any drawback you pretty much are confident in them addressing, which they've been doing really well, especially since the new community manager came in. The communication between the community and SNK is better than ever. And it feels like we're being heard, and any concerns we kind of have seem to be addressed at least to the best of their ability. Mm-hmm. So,
yes.
With Samsho looking solid, I think it's going to be the absolute bare minimum for what 15 is going to look like, and I anticipate it to look better. So I'm not concerned about graphics at this point. I think they've proven that with each title, they're making a marked effort to improve.
Okay, well said. Well said. I'm still gonna worry. They better make me faint, make me roll over, have the Holy Ghost when I see them graphics. Like that's the bottom line. So we'll definitely see. But yeah, I do agree. Like their foundation now is a little bit stronger. You know, they've taken the time to improve. So, yeah, I definitely think they may impress us. But yeah, they better do that. That better be one of the top priorities, pretty much. So why don't we
don't want another 14. Oh my God, this game is ugly. I'm not gonna buy.
Yeah. But I mean, like Elkie says, they've been listening to us. They've been listening to a lot of feedback. So they're gonna take heed to it, pretty much. So why don't we go to a next section? Why don't we talk about when we talk about gameplay? I think that's always kind of a heavy section. Yeah. So why don't we talk about like just the system, as like the fighting system, the mechanics for 15. What are y'all looking forward to, and what would y'all like? So why don't we start kind of with Dizzy? You there, bro?
Yep, I'm here. Let's see. For 15, I mean, honestly, with 15, it's kind of hard to think of like a new, unique feeling system, because we all know, well, if they're going to keep consistent with going from 13 to 14, we know that the base system is going to be the same. You're going to have, your CD rules and things like that. You're going to have your different hops and stuff like that. But I really like how 14 improved over 13 as far as the management of EX moves.
Yes.
I think locking it behind max mode was a really good step, because let's just be real, some EX moves were just way too strong to be able to just do them raw. So if they find a new EX system, like maybe make EX moves like their own separate bar, and then find a way, like, because I know like when I see people ask about this discussion, I see the community split right down the middle. I see people saying, "Oh, we want HD back from 13," and then other people just like, "Well, I thought HD was a little too much to handle. I like 14's simpler combo system a lot better." And if they could find a way to put those together and please everybody, I'll be very impressed with SNK. I really want them to try to see what they can do to please both sides of their community. Now, I also, as far as like improvements from 14, I really need proximity normals to work better than they did in 14, and I really need cross-up detection to work a lot better than they did in 14. I have a pretty ugly clip that I posted on Twitter a while ago, where Akula looked like she was jumping over me. So when I tried to anti-air normal it, my character turned the opposite way, and they landed right in front of me, and I was just like, okay, so I guess I just don't block this. And like moments like that make the game really frustrating to play when it happens. Like it doesn't happen that often. I won't, completely dunk on the game like that, but the few times it happens, it's really frustrating. And there's a couple characters that rely on close proximity normals to like start their offense or whatever situation they're in. Like in the case of Mature, like her close C starts up a lot faster than her far C does, and it's really frustrating when I think I'm close enough to get close C, and like she does that little twirl forward to do the far version. It's just really annoying. So yeah, work on proximity normals, work on cross up detection, try to find a way to appease the 13 and 14 fans with, like in the same system, or heck, maybe even give us a choice. So like I tell people all the time when it comes to different types of meter management, I thought Alphas 3 was like the gold standard for that, simply because it's like, okay, well, you can choose to use your meter this way. You can either do custom combos, or you could have a system with 3 different levels of each super, or you could just have one big super that does a crazy ton of damage. And like I thought that was a really good thing that pleased a lot of different people and a lot of different playstyles. NeoWave tried to do it, if anybody remembers that game, but it kind of wasn't really the best way to go about it, because all the systems were like so dramatically different that like I think it was like, I forget which system was like the best one, but like nobody used any of the other ones. So if they could try to find a way to like either find one universal system to please everybody, or make grooves, basically make grooves to appease the different people's preferences, and maybe we could have a really fun game. And just like try to, if they do go the groove route, just try to not make one vastly better than the other.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, probably the hardest thing about doing a groove or selectable mechanic is just the balancing issue that it creates, because it does make it significantly harder to balance at that point. Honestly, for mechanics, I'm pretty open to. I wouldn't know what, but I'd be open to something new.
Yes.
Now I still want 3v3. I just like that format the best. Not really interested in doing strikers again, or tag. I still think they should just make a separate tag series. But I kind of just want something new, or 15 games deep, and it's gonna be, it's really easy to keep harkening back to games that people already liked. And to me, max mode doesn't make a KOF game what it is, or extra, or any of that doesn't really define it. Like it's only a handful of things that really define KOF games being what they are. Between like a handful of more general mechanics and like who's in the roster, and beyond that, there's room for experimentation. But the thing is, they can't really go too far. So back then, when they were releasing these games yearly, when you have an annual release, you're kind of more open as far as like taking a big risk.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, we're going to get rid of these characters, or we're going to introduce a radically different mechanic. Well, if it flops, okay, big deal. All right, next year we'll just, get rid of it and try something else. This is going to be on probably a 4 or 5 year cycle. So if it, if the community just loathes it when it comes out, they're kind of stuck, because what are you going to say? Oh, we're just going to drop development and start working on a new game because it just fell on its face. It's bad for them and it's bad for us. So I'd rather them kind of play it a little more traditional, and then just make that extra mechanic that defines 15 being what it is. Put all the real changes into that.
Okay. Cool. Well said. I would like to introduce, if we can hear him, Jojo Crimson. You here?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Oh my God, dude.
I just want to say that I love your avatar choice, and you're my best friend now.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
Dude,
I love them. I love all 3 of them.
I'm glad I got you on, man. We're doing freaking customer service while I'm doing this
Oh,
at the same time.
man.
Yo,
Man, I was about to throw in the towel, bro. Oh,
hey,
my goodness.
I was finna like move on, man. I was like, man, I'm sorry, bruh. Can't have you on. It's not working. But yeah, it's good. It's good to have you on here now, man. I think we figured it out for future reference.
Yeah, it's. I don't know why I did that actually, and I looked it up. It was some weird thing. It just needed another send or invite, basically. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if you can hear the fan in the back, but it's kind of hot, so I got that running, and I got my ice cold water. So sorry if you hear the little extra noise in the back.
Hey, I don't hear that on my end at all. You sound loud and clear and crisp. Thank you very much.
Alrighty.
So
Things sound fine to me.
yeah, you just came from Evo, right? Or
No, I wish though.
oh, okay, all right, cool. All right, nice. Yo, so yeah, we're talking about 15, man. And
Oh, boy.
one of the first things we talked about was like the graphics. I wanted to know like what are your thoughts on what kind of like graphic engine that you'll kind of expect or like to see in 15.
Yeah, I was it's funny enough, before the announcement, way before the announcement actually, me and my buddy Cat Killer and my buddy Greedy Chun, we were talking about like, well, Cat mentioned that they were probably more than likely going to use the same engine as the current Sam show, which would be good. It would be really good, and I'll be definitely looking forward to it regardless. You know, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't know how to explain 14's graphics. A lot of people, you know, it was mixed for the most part, but I mean, I was fine with it. I enjoyed it, especially when they touched it up like around like I think the second patch, third patch. Around that time, they, you know, it was kind of fine then. So I doubt they're going to use that what they used for 14. They're definitely going to use something different, and if anything, it's going to be probably the same thing they used for Sam Show 2019 or Sam Show 7. I believe so, and if not, maybe something Sprite-ish, Guilty Gear-ish. I don't know. It's pretty weird because they got quite a bit of options, or just something new in general. I don't know.
Right. Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree. Me, I'm a little worried. And Elkie, you're worried.
Oh.
But yeah. Because yeah, dude, like it just they can't fumble the ball on this one, man. You know what I'm saying? Like they can't afford to do it. But the way things are progressing now, it looks like, you know, that they may, you know, turn some heads. They may actually find some sort of groove now as far as you know, the graphical presentation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. I'm so anxious. You know, it's absolutely crazy.
They've I don't know if well, they've definitely been on a roll ever since 14, to be honest, because like after 14 dropped, SK Heroines, you know, I mean, granted, it's not like not as much sought out after like in the US as much, or even in Japan just a little bit, you know, but the sales I heard did pretty good for SNK Heroines. Sam Show did phenomenal in Japan as far as like the sales as soon as like it dropped, from what I read. And so I mean, right, with those 3 games alone on their comeback tour, basically I call it their comeback tour, like they've done pretty well, and it like from 14 to Heroines to Sam Show, like their sales have been like just gradually going up. So I mean, you can just imagine what it'll be like when 15 drop, you know what I mean? Especially after Evo, and that you know, how it showed that how Sam Show showed at Evo, basically. You know, I think it's looking pretty good, you know.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna get back to you in 1 second. I want to throw this question at Kenshi real quick about the system mechanics. What are you kind of looking forward to, or what would you like to see?
Let's see here. That's tough because I like so many different KOF systems.
Yes.
I'm kind of with Elkie. I would like something fresh and new, but at the same time, I feel like a return to basics, kind of like what they did with Sam Show, is a good idea too. I mean, so many people like 98 or a variation of 98, and I feel like that kind of basic KOF might be a good idea again. But that's just me. If it's not that, I want something completely different, like completely new. It's just kind of hard to figure out what's new because SNK has done a lot with KOF. You know, we've had a tag game, we've had a striker game, we've had, you know, the classic 3v3.
Yeah.
What can they do is the question.
If I can piggyback off of the going back to basics topic, like if they go back to 98, I'm like not maybe not verbatim, but like pretty like similar to it, where like there's not a lot to it. That's fine. But for the love of God, we cannot have Maximo be what it was in that game, because that damage gets pretty ridiculous pretty quickly. Like there's no reason why, a close normal into a command grab will do like 35%. That just can't happen.
Oh yeah. The damage values definitely got to be more, balanced.
Yeah, they fixed that with
bullshit.
98 UM.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I agree. I definitely think a more simpler, less complex kind of system mechanics approach might be good. They can go all the way back to freaking. Well, no, I was gonna say like KOF 94 or something like that. No. Maybe like
Give me
boy.
96.
oh yeah, the other 96. Yeah, maybe like
94. You want to take away running? No.
Yeah, no. I want the hops to stay. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, maybe something a little more simpler. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm just so curious, man, to see what they're going to implement. But either something simple or like what you said, Dizzy, something completely new. But whenever something new kind of like gets introduced, it gets a little weird, But we'll definitely see. But yeah, I think a much more simpler kind of gameplay mechanic might be better. Something a little more stripped down, something that doesn't require a lot of execution, that doesn't require a lot of resources. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. We'll see. So why don't we stick with gameplay? Why don't we go to modes? What gameplay modes do y'all think y'all would like? Dizzy, you wanna chime in?
Let's see, gameplay mode. So do you mean like survival and stuff like that?
Yeah, like
or?
survival, like
okay,
tutorial.
Yeah. So the survival I think would be really good if they did it similar to how 97 and 98 did it, where you literally just like not so much like rack up as many wins as you can before the AI inevitably gets too tough, or we keep buffing their damage to where like a close feed does like 90% by itself. But but if they do it where you just literally go through the roster, like make it like a time trial kind of thing, kind of sort of. So it's like you go through every character in the game, and then you even go through the bosses at the end, and then if you can do it with either the highest score or the best time, then you can be on a leaderboard based on that. I think endless survival modes are kind of outdated, if you ask me. Yeah. Where it's more, because it gets really boring, especially if it's a game where you can find like a solid strat to use against the AI, and then next thing you know, the leaderboards are racked up with 200, 300, 400 wins, and it was just somebody. So a prime example, Under Night and Birth has that issue where in the survival mode, the AI cannot handle Hilda spamming her basic projectile. Like they will just they'll block it a few times, and then every now and then they'll just like get smacked by it randomly, and you could just spam it, and most of the time you just win. So if you go through the leaderboard for survival for that game, it's all Hilda. They're all like ridiculously amounts of wins, where I feel like if we just scaled it back and made it to where, okay, go through the roster, score as many points as you can, or go through the roster as fast as you can, then I think that would be a lot more interesting than just, we'll just keep fighting until you die. I think that'd be interesting. Time attack is good. Story mode, I think, will be really good if they made it a little more expansive, similar to how 13 did it, where each team has their own story and you have to go through it with that team. Because, I mean, quite honestly, I would like them to not make the AI as unforgiving, because especially if you're going to have an achievement where it's like, go through the story mode with every team. Let's be real. Most people who play these games are not going to be good enough with every single character to be able to outsmart the AI. So, I mean, if they make the boss tough, fine, but there's making the boss tough because it's strong, and then there's making the boss tough because it's strong and also reads your inputs. So I think that would be a decent trade off. Like that, like bring back 13 style story mode, make survival a little more concrete and not endless. Combo trial mode, definite requirement. Because I think 14's trial mode was a little dry. It was like 5 really basic combos per character that really, like, they showed you probably the basics of how they work, but not really what to do with that character in neutral, what to do off of a crouch B confirm or anything like that. So maybe not to the level that 13 did it, but maybe if they like make each character have their own tutorial section where it's like, okay, this is how you use this neutral tool, or anti-air with this button 5 times in a row, or and then like save the really strong and like long extensive combos for like maybe the very, very end.
Yeah.
Because I can probably count on one hand how many people I've seen finish Ash's Trials in 13.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I feel like they can do a lot, especially if they save a lot of the budget by like using previous assets on the graphics like we talked about before. I think they can use part of the budget to make more expansive modes. Maybe make a offline or maybe like an offline tag mode. Like I see a lot of people say they love KOF 11, they love KOF 2000, games like that. So maybe make 2 separate modes where it's like, okay, well here you can play KOF 15 with tagging, or you can play KOF with strikers. So you could pick 4 characters and then have your striker. And maybe you can even run side tournaments for KOF 15 in that mode. Like the possibilities are endless. They had enough to say, hey, we know that there's a lot of different KOFs, and our fans like a lot of different KOFs. Like some people really like 97 and 98. Some people actually like 01. Some people actually like 12. You know what I mean? So if they can find a way to like please everybody, like, okay, the main game plays like this, but here's a side mode where you can play the game like this or like that. I think that'd be a really good place to start.
Okay. Cool, man. That sounds good. All right, Elky, what modes would you like to see?
Harder trials.
What?
Holy hell! Those trials are so easy. Good lord! Especially if you played 13 then 14.
Yeah, 13 was pretty like monstrous.
You're like, oh, let me get this. I unlock more trials after this, right? This isn't it, right? Like, no.
Level 1 trials.
Up to the thing that I probably want the more. Aside from online, I think we're going to talk about online stuff separately. But as far as like an offline thing, story mode was probably, I thought, one of the biggest drawbacks that we had with 14. Because people coming in, if 14 was your first KOF and you didn't know who any of these characters were, and it hits you with these 50 some odd characters at once, and the game itself doesn't really do a good job of telling you who these characters are, and the story mode is very limited as far as the interactions, and I would like to see far more interactions, something more akin to what 13 did in its story mode, where everybody had something to say to one another. And I think to take that a step further, I would like them to do I wouldn't exactly call it branching, but I forget which Street Fighter used to do it, where you would choose who you fought in the next round. It would say, okay, you can either fight this team or that team as you play through story mode.
Third Strike did that.
Third Strike.
Yeah, that's right.
And one, it kind of gives people a reason to come back and play through story mode again with the team, to see all these little cutscenes and back and forth that they didn't see the first time through. It doesn't leave it up to luck of the draw of who you're going to face when you play through story mode. So you would only come across this interaction or that one, because you can pick a team and only go through and maybe get 2 interactions, sometimes, depending on how the like RNG of the matchups works. It's like, oh, well, these certain characters just didn't have anything to say to these other ones, and fill that in, kind of put the player in the seat as far as being able to choose how they play through these teams. Come on, let's be honest. It's not a real tournament format anyway. Why not let us pick?
Right.
So I think that'd be good, because people really need to. We can't expect them to sift through like 20 plus years of character history in order to get a sense of who everybody is. We kind of need to explain it in the here and now who they are. So I think that's probably one of the most important things. Aside from that, all the standards, your survival, your time trial, all that stuff's pretty pat. It's pretty expected. And I have a hard time, other than coming up with, because we don't want to end up in that nether realm. Okay, we're going to put you in there. You're going to have half health. There's going to be items dropped. Nobody wants to play through that crap. Oh, God, no. Don't make me do that.
It's like the number one complaint I hear about like MK11 is just like, yeah, I'm trying to get this out of the crypt, but I got to fight this character at like 25% health and I can't block. I was like, what? I don't understand.
So it's just not going too crazy with the modes isn't great. If you want to put some like very soft parameters on how a fight has to go through, or some, what was that, mom mode from Guilty Gear that they had, and that had some really particular stuff, but still nowhere near as crazy as laser shooting from off screen that you can't block. But yeah, I'm just flesh out the modes that we've come to expect to their fullest degree, and I think most people will be very happy with that.
Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks for sharing. Jojo, what modes would you like in King of Fighters 15?
Well, they both definitely hit the nail in the coffin right there, or nail on the head with all the modes that they stated. Especially, I'm a big fan of like just the SNK storyline, whether it's from the Sam Show universe, Last Blade. I mean, they're all technically from the same universe, but like art of fighting and whatnot. So the story mode, I definitely am a big fan of that. And basically, like what Elke was saying, like if they can incorporate it in a way, basically not branching, but like each team have their own route where like obviously, some teams might fight, different teams or the same teams, like in their path to, get to the finals and whatnot, and canonically speaking, like every team doesn't really get to fight the boss, you know what I mean? Not every team in 14 got to fight Verse. As you know, if you play the story mode in 14, the only people, well, I don't know how the manga went because I didn't get the chance to read the KOF 14 manga, but I know like for sure Shune, Kukuri's team, the official invitation team that Antonov hired, encountered them, but I don't think they defeated Verse. Terry was there. Well, Fatal Fury team was there, and who else? Oh, the Another World team, which is Nakaruru, Loveheart, and Mui Mui. And it's just like, gathering from that, you can tell that those are like the important teams. Not saying that the other important teams, there aren't other important teams, because Iori is definitely, a main character. But what I noticed, he didn't have a cutscene towards the end of the finals because I don't think he was there. Basically, he didn't show up until they, spoilers, if you didn't beat it with the official team, or, no, actually, if you beat it with that team, Orochi's there. So, not to delve into the story and whatnot, basically what I'm trying to say, certain teams are important to the story. So if they can incorporate like routes, like, branching or routes, like for each team that'll feel different and have that replay value, I agree with being able to choose what team you want to fight next. I definitely like that idea. If they could do something like that, that would be really dope. And about the other modes, well, Trial, definitely, just basic standard fighting game modes without having to have too much, because I feel like KOF is the type of game that really doesn't like need too many modes, because like for me, like King of Fighters is just fun, just in the competitive aspect, just being able to fight somebody enough, like that alone is enough replay value for me. But it also I agree that it wouldn't hurt to have like those modes that cater to those different era of KOF fans that did like 2000, that did like 11, that do like 13, or 98, 97. I don't think that would actually hurt KOF 15. And like he said before, like they could possibly run side tournaments off that mode, and that could bring like just a whole new like look on like those characters in that game in those different modes.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree. They both basically explain like the main points as far as like modes in that game, and I agree with both of them.
Can I tack on to the whole like the story expansion thing? So I don't know if anybody remembers, but back in even going as far back as like 94, I want to say, there was a point where each team had what's called a team story, where it's basically like a short written story thing. It was written in like script format, but basically explaining like each team's motivation into going into the tournament. And if when you start story mode with a specific team, if we could get those in like an animated form, I think that would be a really good place to help introduce these characters to anybody who may not know who they are. The stories that they had were awesome. It was like showing Vice and Mature approaching Iori, to make a team. It showed like the women's team getting together at King's Bar and deciding, hey, like I can't team with Andy, you can't team with Rio, etc. Let's make our own team. Or showing the New Face team like actually dealing with the Iori upstaging their shows, and then Yashua randomly sees the Iori on the King of Fighters commercial. It's like, hey, let's go kick his ass at the tournament. So, like little things like that. Like when they were written back in the day, I really think if they animated cutscenes like that for each team, and it doesn't have to be expensive because you could just play the same cutscene every time you start story mode with that team. But then if you do that and then go into the branching arcs, I think that will be a really good help for the story to help not only introduce these characters but also bring them to life. Because a lot of KOF fans, these characters aren't just tools that we pick in tournament. A lot of these characters are actually people that we relate with or people that we've come to love over the years.
Ain't that the truth?
Did anybody else, when they played 14, felt like this was KOF the cookout because everybody just kind of showed up, without like a major motivation?
It did feel like that. It did feel like just like a weird like pseudo family reunion or something. You know what I'm saying? For like no reason.
I actually feel like that was in 13 because if you notice, most of the teams in 13 that wasn't Kim's team, Ash and Elizabeth's team, everybody is kind of like a classic throwback team from Akari Warriors, Art of Fighting, Fatal Fury, and the Japan team alone. They're all like throwback teams. I really felt like 13 was definitely like the cookout or reunion KOF, to be honest.
And that's something in 15 that I hope they kind of do is move to kind of a more dramatic story than they've had. Because 14 almost feels too lighthearted. Like as you're playing, it doesn't feel like this doesn't feel like serious business. And
go ahead.
We kind of need a little more dramatic weight, I think, in the next title.
I think it's because 14 was a gateway game. Like it was literally it was just setting the stage. Like, oh well, we're gonna introduce this boss, and then when this boss croaks, we're gonna bring back everybody. Everybody's back. Every threat that we dealt with, every boss that we dealt with. So like, think about it. In KOF 15, we potentially have to deal with Orochi, those from the past. So like, every major antagonist potentially can come back. Rugal, like, and especially if they come back at the same time, or like if they team up, or whatever the case may be. Like, 15 is gonna be some pretty serious shit. Like if you look at how 14 set it up, like 14 might not have had a lot happen, but it did enough to where we can potentially have any story that they can think of in 15.
Yeah. Basically, I feel like Elkidori wants like he wants that KOF 97 story feel because to me, still to this day, I feel like KOF 97 is probably like the darker King of Fighters as far as like story. You got like actual teams sacrificing and killing themselves. And I think the game before that, Yori killed he killed Bison Mature, but killed quotation marks, killed them. But Yashiro, but basically the New Faces team basically sacrificed themselves for Orochi and Chris. So
that was a pretty bloody story arc for like 95 through 97 was just pretty. That was like the bloodiest part of KOF history, if you ask me.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, they've been there before, so I wouldn't be surprised if 15 did bring it back like that or something crazy of that level.
Okay, cool, man. Some interesting thoughts on the story mode. I think that's very important too. You know what I'm saying? I know some people might be listening to this and like, oh man, that's just like fluff. I'm like, no, man. There are people that care about the story, that connect with the story, and play the games for the story. So like, just because it's not like super competitive or anything doesn't mean that it's like not relevant. So yeah, I think the story mode, in 15 needs to be top notch and have a fair amount of the recommendations that a lot of y'all are saying. Kenshi, what interesting modes would you like in 15?
Kenshi.
Was that muted?
Yeah, you're muted.
Totally muted.
Yeah, you're good.
Shit. Anyways, Marco said it earlier in the chat, but I'm totally an advocate for offline party mode.
The controller thing with that is just so hard.
Yeah, we don't have multi-taps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean...
We have wireless controllers.
You better not be using them wireless controllers.
Okay, that's another can of worms for another day. But,
I mean, like, are you going to do offline party mode and, be super competitive? I mean, like, I just want something fun to play with my not good at KOF friends.
Here's all they really need to do is be able to set your button config to change between characters.
Yeah.
So you can at least hand off the controller.
Yeah, or like have some sort of prompt or something like that. Next player,
right?
And then like he said, switch to controls. Go ahead, Dizzy.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Like when the round ended, it would be like, okay, both sides need to ready up before it goes to the next round, and that would give people time and like put like a button change, like a button config menu in there, so then that way you could just pass off. Because I think that's how because it's like when we run team tournaments at majors and stuff like that, it's pretty annoying like when they run 3v3s and then every round it's like, okay, we have to let the round start, then we have to pause, then we have to go change the buttons, and it's like if we just had that bigger gap between rounds, we could just don't ban DualShock 4. I see you in the chat, don't say that.
Ban it.
No,
ban it now.
But like if they put a bigger gap between rounds, like okay, KO, boom, round's done, then make both teams ready up their next player, or the losing team ready up their next player, and then both teams ready up, and you continue. That like it would take a little longer, but it wouldn't take as long as having to constantly pause, and then the round feels dirty because you don't get the full seconds you get like 59 point whatever seconds, however fast you're able to pause. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would just smooth. Like if you want to do an offline party mode, then at least put that stuff in there to where, because the PS4 only has 2 USB ports, maybe 4 if you get the expansion thing, but even then, if it's you're at maximum 6 different controllers, where if you just set it up to where you could pass off the controller, or even let someone like unplug their stick and then the next person syncs their pad, or whatever the case may be, then you could smooth out the experience for running a actual 3v3 match.
And if you're going to do that where you kind of have a ready up between rounds, might as well throw in a Pokemon style in there too, where you can change on the fly who's going to play mid and who's going to play anchor.
Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be really interesting.
Okay,
I could see it.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right. I will say on my end, as far as modes go, I really believe and feel that the tutorial mode needs to be better. It needs a stronger.
Oh yeah,
tutorial
for
mode.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like even the older KO games had better like campaign modes and stuff like that. Even though they're kind of like silly, like 11. um, you know, even
Oh, 11.
yeah. Even like the games had kind of a okay like campaign mode, but a tutorial mode just like explaining a lot of the the system, gameplay mechanics and maybe more I would say practical uses of certain moves. I don't know if the developers sometimes even think that far of like, oh, this move is good in neutral, or this is a good move to use at this time. I mean, maybe they do. They can probably give it a good guess, but
I remember KI had an excellent tutorial mode.
yeah, a lot of games nowadays have
KI
good
is really
tutorials.
good.
Yeah, I heard KI does. I heard Unreal does. Even like Exert had a pretty good tutorial mode. So all they need to do is just kind of just like study those and then just like make something new and different and helpful from that. As far as like combo trials, I mean, hey, they can have another combo trial mode. For people that want to try to get arthritis quicker and stuff like that. Another thing I think they should also put in, which is kind of cool, is some sort of like color edit mode or some sort of costume mode or something like that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
If they do that, they have to limit like what you can do. Like a character skin tone can only be like a natural human skin tone. Like it could be as light as dark as you want, but I really don't want literally all white or all black or all solid color characters that are really hard to see their details on. Because I feel like let's go back to the all black Sagatsu Online and Street Fighter Cross Tekken. I don't think anybody wants to go back to that.
Yeah, I agree. I think some sort of costume mode. I mean, use what they have or expand upon what they have in SNK Heroines or something like that.
Ooh.
Yes, something on that level or degree might be kind of cool. And I also think like they should have some sort of unlockable system. Just go through a certain amount of modes, get points, unlock things that way. Or if you want to skip a step, pay for it. I also like the gallery mode that they had in 14. I remember playing online matches. I'm like, oh man, like there's like endless like gallery pictures and stuff like that. Like, so I definitely think they should definitely go that route. Color edit, costume mode, some sort of I would say a better tutorial mode. Keep in or expand upon combo trials. We always saying with the offline party mode. I think that's a good idea as well. I think that's pretty cool. But I think we're going to pass the topic to a different branch in the gameplay section, and this is going to be a little heated, but I think a lot of people know where we're going at already. But we're going to talk about the net play, the net code for 15, and see, I can kind of hear some exasperation already.
Okay.
I think everybody's heated because everybody wants the same thing.
Yeah, we all want a solid netcode. I think the only part of it discussion that will probably get heated are people that want either rollback or delay. I personally think that neither version really matters, like how the game handles lag. Like the fact that people are debating which tool, like, okay, well, I want this game to act like this when it's lagging. I want the game to act like that when it's lagging. Why are you planning ahead for lag in the first place? Like you should be wanting a lag-free experience no matter which one they use.
Well, I mean,
they can't help
it's
that.
The internet, though, man. You're always gonna have some sort of form of lag.
I agree.
But,
but
so I mean, it's best to kind of anticipate it, because I don't think we're ever gonna have like a lag-free experience unless, like,
no,
we have
best-
like the best internet all over the globe. Go ahead, Elkie.
Probably the best thing they can do is, I've seen a couple of games do this where it's a rollback based net code, but if you want to specify how many frames of delay that you want to start with, and then it only does any rollback if it exceeds the amount of buffer that delay that you give it can handle.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, it's the best way to do it. With what we have right now, it's the best way is to kind of give the player at least a little choice as far as how their experience is going to go. Because for the most, I think under low latency situations, people don't really mind. They'll deal with either delay or they'll deal with rollback, but both of them get maddening. But that's where people start getting a preference. Well, I'd rather be dealing with the BS that comes with rollback, or I'd rather deal with more delay. And you kind of got to leave it up to them, because it both suck. It's just what you really have to pick your poison at that point, and it's best to just let the player decide.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Before I get into my thoughts, Jojo, what do you think, man, about the net code, net play? What are you expecting for 15?
Oh, wait, you were talking about me?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's cool.
Oh, man. I don't even know where to start. Because once it starts lagging, especially in a game that I really care about, and like King of Fighters in general, like I tend to, my thoughts tend to get cloudy and not reasonably, just. But anything that'll be close feeling to what GGPO has, basically, if I had to really choose, I'm not saying it was the end all be all of online experience, but as far as I know, I had the most fun playing online anything in that kind of format with just how it runs, basically. I know there's not too many games that hit consoles that run off that. That's not, like GGPO at the time itself, or FightK or whatever FightK uses now. But something like that. Otherwise, I feel like I stated this before. I'm not a big advocate of online fighting. Neither is Mexican, and I would much rather travel 8 hours to go to a meetup of KOF players, like just a KOF gathering, than to play online at home. Like that's how much I kind of loathe fighting online, especially with the game that's known to not have good connection. Basically, I'm more of that go out and get the experience type in person anyway. First of all, like for different reasons, like social reasons and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's just online. If it's good though, it'll be great to have something like whatever GGPO ran off of. So if that's possible, I know the only game I could think of off the top of my head that ran like that was the same kind of system that Skullgirls used for their online. Because when I played Skullgirls at the time, the online for that was really not that bad at all, and very doable. Even Marvel Infinite. Now that I think about Marvel Infinite, whatever Marvel Infinite run off of too is pretty good. It's definitely better than what Ultimate Marvel 3 ran off of, because I had way more better matches in Infinite than Marvel 3 online experience wise. So, if it's possible for the new 15 to get some sort of net code of that caliber, then that would be great, basically.
Okay, well said. Kenshi, if you're there, what kind of netcode would you like in 15?
Netcode, something that fucking works. Anything, I'll take it. It could be delay as long as it works.
Okay.
I mean, like, honestly though, ever since getting my new modem, Samsho's netcode seemed perfect to me. I was playing with someone from France with 2 bars, and I could do everything I wanted to do. I was getting salty because I forgot how to fight Hanzo, because I haven't played online or played fighting games at all, because one, new job. Two, my modem sucked and it kept going offline. So, you know, I didn't play anything. I was just like, I was either playing offline games or just playing like MMOs or something like that doesn't require fast reflexes. So it's just like when I went back into it, I'm like, wow, I can stream and play online and not have shit. Okay, Samshow's a good netcode. You know, like that kind of delay-based netcode is perfectly fine by me. Rollback is good too. I mean, like, I've had my experience with GPO being bad, but I mean, I've also had real good experiences with it. I mean, you can't have a perfect netcode, so I just want something consistent. Like, I want the match to feel consistent. I don't want spikes. I don't want constant rollbacks. You know, like, I don't want random delay spikes, and I don't want constant rollbacks. So I want something that will, like, be like a middle ground, like, kind of like Skullgirls. Put in both.
Skullgirls is a pretty good example. Like, a lot of people just scream GGPO and like try to slap a band-aid on the netcode issue, but people forget that GGPO could be kind of trash when it doesn't work, just like every other netcode. So it's like nobody likes to deal with delay where their inputs don't come out. Nobody likes to deal with rollback where, you know, I hit you with a super, but then halfway through the super, suddenly I'm being thrown. Street Fighter V did that to me, but that's another story for another day. So, like, if they could find a way to just find a middle ground where everybody's happy, because lag is lag. When it's lagging, you're not going to be happy no matter what netcode it is. So, how about we just stop crying about, you know, rollback versus delay, and then just find the netcode that works, and then that way, if it works, then, you know, if you are experiencing any issues, then you know 100%, okay, it's either my connection or their connection.
I wouldn't. The problem that I already see on the horizon is that we need to be very understanding, because this is still a Japanese game, and there's not really going to be much for anybody in the middle between SNK and us. And Japanese devs across the board, whether it was delay-based or rollback-based, have a really iffy history making netcode.
Yeah.
And American, either like American-made games or games that an American company has kind of ported and re-implemented, kind of like the online edition for Third Strike, where it's like, oh, wow, you know, this is way better than we were expecting. Well, it's because somebody over here who knew that, okay, there's way too much geography over here to kind of bridge connections, that we have to make it as good as we can. I mean, when a country that has, you know, just the size, it's just the size of Montana. It's almost exactly the size of Montana. They don't care. What's a bad connection?
Right.
I've never heard of a bad connection.
Add that on top
fine.
add that on top of Japan's internet infrastructure being way better than America's. Yeah, like it's not just the distance; it's the quality of internet as well. And I feel like they don't keep other regions in mind when they do that.
So, like, I as hopeful as I am, I'm kind of setting my expectations conservatively as far as, you know, what quality it's going to be. I was honestly pretty happy with 14. If it hits that same mark, I'll probably be content. But I certainly would appreciate it to be a little better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about in the same boat. 14 was fine.
It was definitely one of the better netcodes I've dealt with playing fighting games online. Not the best, but it's up there.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. 14 was definitely a step up from 13, and 13 was a step up from 12. So I think 15 might be a bigger step up. I do feel and believe and recommend that they should work with Code Mystics this time. That way they can put in their variable-based rollback. You know, like Elky was saying earlier, how you can control how much rollback you want depending on how many frames of delay, you know, and then when it gets past that or when it reaches that, it'll start kicking in, you know, like Sam Show 5 Special, very, very good. 97 GM, very very good.
I love 97 GM's netcode. Like
Same.
it's so solid, and the only bad experiences I have is if like there for some reason the ping spikes, because it actually has the meter at the bottom where it, like, based on the ping, it shows where the input delay is going to be. So if you set it to be just above where that is, you experience no rollback whatsoever. And then if it spikes past that, then it kicks in.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think they should take advantage of that for 15. So the next thing I want to talk about, which is related to netcode, is net play. Now, what kind of net play features and modes would you like in 15?
I like the replay system that 14 had. I liked that you were able to save a replay, look at it. You could skip around if you wanted to, like, look at a specific point of the match. I wanted to see round 3 in particular because that was when my anchor kicked in and I reversed OCV, something to that effect.
Yes.
So if they brought back 14's replay system, maybe expand on it a little bit, maybe maybe add a feature where you could look at it frame by frame. I don't know if you could do that in 14. Can you do that in 14? Like, where you can look at it frame by frame to see, like let's say you got opened up at some point, you want to know like exactly where you screwed up.
Not off the top of my head, no. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it does it. But if it doesn't, then yeah, like add like a frame by frame, and for the love of God, this probably doesn't go into like net play, but like maybe like modes in general. But put a hitbox viewer in the game without having to like mod the PC version. I really need that, because like that it doesn't make sense that it took us. When did the PC version come out? Maybe like a year after the game's been out already. And I don't understand why it took us a year, maybe longer, to find out how BS some of those hitboxes were on the moves in that game. Just put it in the game by default.
Here's what they'll do. They'll put it in, but at the title screen, you have to do a perfect deadly rave.
Oh
my god. I mean, I can do it, but
man.
Oh my god.
Wow. Man, Elky, what modes would you like in 15? I know you like the modes that are already in 14, but is there anything that you would like better or expanded upon in 15?
Well, party mode in 15, I would like it if everybody had their own color cursor on the character select. Because a lot of the time I get mixed up as far as which green one is mine.
Okay.
Gosh, I mean, aside from like little fixes or anything, God, I was really content. There was just little things that I wanted improved or fixed, like people timing out when they're in a queue and everybody's waiting for them and they're having dinner.
Or waiting for the food to arrive.
Right?
Yeah.
Jimmy John's.
I was really content. I'm probably not the right person to ask. I definitely want party mode back. It's the thing that saved my stream's ass, so I would love to get that back.
Okay. All right. Jojo, well, man, I was you don't really care or play for online that much. I was gonna ask
and it doesn't mean like I don't. It doesn't mean I hate to see other people enjoyment. Basically, party mode. I definitely agree is definitely a big hit as far as like the newest concept that they brought as far as like online net play. Because I'm pretty sure 13 didn't have it. No. So then there was no online entity of KOF that wasn't UM 2002 and 98 off the top of my head. So I mean, definitely 14 definitely nailed it with that. So party mode, big hit as far as net play. There was something else that I think I remember seeing in how can I do this? I think when the game first came out for 14, I think the ranked online rank wasn't too bad. It was definitely really fun when they got like the first two patches. Okay, patch number 2 on up until a certain point where I just stopped playing online ranked, and you start to notice like the level of players. They kind of like just migrated to player matches at some point. And I feel like all fighting games do that. It gets to a certain lifespan in their time where you don't really find a lot of presence in ranked. Only those few games that still like I think Tekken 7 is probably one of the few that still have like a heavy, strong presence as far as like player caliber in the ranked scene.
Yeah.
But like there's some games where like towards like the end, like the middle on up towards the end of its lifespan, where I wouldn't say end of lifespan because some fighting games just don't die. I would say that's like to the middle on up, like people will migrate from just playing ranked and just go to player matches. Because I remember like when I was the last few times I would play KOF 14 online, I would probably find like at max 2 ranked matches before I just find all the rest of my matches online, player matches. And then, even then, player matches were more fun than ranked matches because you would just run into somebody online in the player match and just have like good sets. When I remember getting my ass kicked online, and it's like, yo, damn, this dude's really good. And I like what you could do in player match in the lobby for KOF 14, where you can set it to like tournament mode, and it had like a lot of slots for the players to come and join and have like basically King of the Hill style battles, or you can have it in just like run back. You just like play a set out with someone, or I think the other one you can set was like a first something, like a 2 out of 3, and then in the bow. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's been a minute since I did online, but I like how they did that. And SNK Heroines, I know a lot of people didn't play that online, but it kind of adapted that similar player match lobby system as well, and they did pretty good with that. But problem with SNK Heroines, not a lot of people was online in general for that game. So
speaking of tournament modes, Tekken 7 has a very solid like actual tournament mode in it for online.
Yeah, I agree.
When I was playing Tekken Online a lot, it was actually a lot of fun because you would get 8 people together. You could decide on whether or not it was single or double elim, and it would run all the match. Like it would randomly make the bracket, and then all the matches would run at the same time. And like once you were out, you were able to stay and watch the let's say you made it. Like let's say you're the first one out, and like there's 2 matches going on at once. You can actually watch. You could actually pick which match you wanted to watch, and then everybody could just watch grand finals together. Like I think if they did something like that for KOF 15, like it would honestly help not only have more people. Like let's say you get an 8-man lobby, people don't have to wait in a long line to play again. But then it would also help prepare people for actually going into the competitive scene for the game.
That would be dope. I agree. I like that. I've definitely seen Tekken online tournaments like that. I was like, damn. And again,
I was very surprised when I saw it.
Mm-hmm. I think that would be nice if they did something like that too.
Yeah, ranked kind of needs to be overhauled because it was very bare bones. I think I've said it on previous Dream Cancel lives where they need to incentivize ranked a little bit more. Because all it's doing is giving you like a number rank, and it didn't really spur people on that much. It's like they really wanted more for their effort, and those being in gold or silver or bronze or something like that's something that people really kind of attach to and really you hold on to, and they get mad when they lose. Even though I like the ranks that you get in. Marvel 3 or Tekken 7 better because I think they're way flashier.
You get a bunch of stars because you made like First Lord.
Yeah, like that, to me that kind of stuff is dope. It's a lot better than like rank 27. Okay, well, how high does it go?
I don't think I've seen anybody over like low 30s in 14. I don't think I've seen anybody past that.
I saw a lot of 33.
Yeah, like 30, 33, 34 is like the highest I've seen. I don't think does it go up to 40 or beyond?
I think so.
Because I remember I only got enough rank matches where I was able to climb to like rank 13, and then I couldn't find a rank match ever again, so I just stayed there.
And no more rank skip. That didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Because some people didn't get enough matches to get a rank assigned to them, so they were just in permanent rank skip mode.
Yeah.
Right.
Forgot about that too.
But no, just and like, did it? I forget. Were you able to go into? It'd been so long since I played rank. I forget if you could sit in a training and
You could.
wait out.
Yeah,
Could you?
you could?
Yeah, you
Okay,
could.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
God, has it been
You
already?
could.
Has it already been like 2.5 years?
3 years actually. That game been out since 2016. Yeah, 2016.
By the time the rank match is all dried up by essentially the turn of the year, it was like, oh well, that's about it.
Oh, to add on what you said about that, okay, I definitely feel like, as far as like this online presence, players should be given an option to either watch or like, say if they do enter this online tournament, if they, they don't want to sit and watch, some players are like, damn, they lost, so they just probably want to practice some shit real quick. So I feel like they should like have the option to either watch, or if they're in the lobby or something like that, or to practice while still waiting in the lobby until it's like their turn. Because I really haven't seen too many fighting games that do that. It's either you have to wait and watch, or you just like, just out the lobby, or you can just wait and watch the matches, which, still not bad, but just also give that third option to just also practice while you wait on your turn. Then it's your turn, then you can go. I think that would be pretty nice, because I have yet to see an online, a fighting game do that online yet. I really haven't seen it yet.
It seems like a couple fighting games do the whole wait and practice mode until your next player match. I think what comes to mind, like Gundam Versus does that a little bit. You just sit in the lobby and you can just practice while you wait for people to come into your lobby or until you have a partner. But a fair amount of games tend to do that. Not too many, but yeah, I would definitely like to see that. Kenshi, hey, what modes of net play would you like to kind of experience or see return in 15?
As far as like modes, give me everything from 14, but give me Samsho's ranked, but overhaul the point system. Like the thing that I thought was good about Samsho was definitely the ranked. You could pick your opponent, or you could host, and you could pick your character. You don't have to set a character. I hate that system in current ranked modes where you can't pick your character anymore. Like, give me like Street Fighter 4's fucking ranked.
I like Street Fighter 4s because every match you could pick your character, but like it was still a blind pick. So it's like I think that would be a lot more fair than just, hey, set this team in its order. All right, go online. So but it's like there's some matchups where I don't want to put Mature in the back. I want to put her in on point or mid. Like I want to be able to change that as I see fit, depending on what team I see my opponent pick.
Right. Yeah, for me, it's definitely like 14's player matches, like party mode, player match, all the things you could do in the player match lobby. Give me that lobby and put that damn lobby in Samsho already, please. And give me Samsho's ranked, and that would be perfect for KOF 15, in my personal opinion. I'm easy to please when it comes to like net play, but I've been spoiled by 14 because as far like aside from ranked, because no one gives a fuck about ranked in that game. As far as like net play goes, 14 was perfect. The lobby was the best lobby system I've ever experienced in any online fighter. Netcode aside, lobby system was perfect. But ranked, I feel like people like Street Fighter 4 ranked more than they like whatever the fuck crap we're getting now. And I'm glad Samsho kind of was a nod to Street Fighter 4 ranked, because it was kind of a blind pick, and you could pick your character. You don't have to set a character and be like, oh, I want to play a different character. Ah, crap, I gotta
Go all the way back out.
Yeah,
Yep.
go to this random menu. You know, like that's just annoying. But as much as I like Sam Show's ranked, I like KOF's 14 system of being able to go into training mode from the menu, the ranked menu, and then stay there and then go back there when you're done with your match. I don't like how Sam Show always puts you back at the menu. That's dumb.
Union's actually pretty good about that because like while you're in training mode while waiting for a match, after your match is over, it says, "Oh, do you want to go back to training mode? Yes or no." Instead of just shoveling you into the menu or just dumping you back into training mode, it's like all I have to do is just press yes, and then I'll just go right back into training mode like nothing happened. Or if I want to go back and change my search settings or my character or whatever the case may be, all right, yeah, let me go back to the menu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. Hey, go ahead.
There is so much I don't like about current day ranked. Also, like, not online, but I forgot to mention this for the offline stuff. Versus mode, go back to 13 system of both players get their own menu. Don't do what 14 did.
Yeah, where like you have to stop the character select entirely so one person can set buttons. Yeah.
Like, I don't like how when you're finished with a match, player one or whatnot has full control. Like, I want two separate menus, player two and player one, to have.
I thought in 14 both can move because there've been like
both
times
can
where
move. Both can move, but there's only one menu, so you know.
It's like
it's like fighting over. It's like fighting over who's going to do what. Like I've had tournament sets where it's like I would lose, and I'm like, all right, let me change my character, but then this guy's on autopilot and goes back to like play again, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to switch over.
Happened to me a bunch.
No, see the best one is when you after you finish picking your characters and you go to that stage select and both move at the same time. It's like oh, all right, who's random, or you got a stage you want to go to, that type of shit. So yeah, that's definitely a thing.
Oh my god, stage select should be set to random default.
Yeah.
Default was fucking annoying. Yep, I did. You know, even though it was a cool stage, it was annoying.
I'm so sick of Neo Osaka.
Because you'll both hit up, and then it takes you like training stage.
Even the worst default OS. So yeah. Don't do that again.
I would say on my end, as far as NetPlay features, I think if they just keep the lobbies, the player match lobbies in 14 and carry it to 15, and then just maybe add a couple things like people saying, you know, wait in training mode while you wait for a match. I think they'll be pretty good. They can even probably add more slots. Like, what is it, 12? And they can add 16. I don't know. Like, add way more like slots to player matches, or just you can have it set to, you know,
I feel
less
like
than 6 or something like that. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like the max in the lobby, it should be a multiple of 3, so that way, like especially if you go into like party mode, then you can have a set number of teams, like if the lobby fills. So let's say we're in party mode and it's like, okay, well, we can make a tournament party mode. So like, okay, max lobby size is 12. So you have 4 teams, and those 4 teams do get out to see who the best team is. And like you like the host can assign the teams as they see fit, or they can set it to be random. And then once the game randomizes it, then those teams are set until the end of the tournament. Like, I feel like there's a lot they can do there.
Yeah.
Auto cycling people in party mode.
Yes, that too.
Yeah.
Like if you lose, you get thrown back in the line. Like,
yes,
do it that way.
Yeah.
Whether or not it randoms, whether you got set teams or whether it's if you're using shuffle, for what shuffle is worth, but
quote unquote shuffle.
Yeah, I think there should be some sort of option in party battle mode, like kind of as like a backup in case you can't get 6 people or something like that, maybe have like something where one person can control 2 characters, you know, on a team. You know, if you just have 5 people or something like that, like as a backup. You know.
So I'm gonna actually expose my status as an old man here, but going back to Kylera, if anybody remembers what that is.
Yeah, I remember that.
Where you had the KOF lobbies, where you had the 6-man KOF lobbies, where you could actually do it with 4 people, but it was 2 people per team, and player 1 and player 3 both controlled 2 characters, and then player 2 and player 4 only had 1. I think something similar to that, to where you can play party mode if you have less than 6 people, would actually be kind of cool. I think actually, let's say you only have 3. Okay, well, how about you let those 3 people go through story mode or arcade mode together, or survival mode even. I think that would be really cool because let's be real, there's a lot of times where we struggle to find people, or like we want to do a certain thing and it's like, oh well, I want to play party mode. Oh, we only have 5 people. Well, fun's over. I guess we have to just go back to the regular, long line. I think, or like Kylera did it with 5 people too. Like if you only had 5 people, then the first team had each person play 1 character, and then the second team had player 4 could control 2 characters, and player 5 only had 1, and that way you could have less than 6 people and you could still play a lobby.
Yep.
And everybody got to play.
Yep. Go ahead,
I have a kind of funny idea. Have an AI fill in for like when you're 1 short, and then the team that gets stuck with it has to deal with it.
Oh no, that team's just gonna lose. Let's be real here.
No. Maybe you might have set the difficulty to that level 5 computer that be reading every single input you do and punishing everything.
Right.
Why don't they? How about you be able to? Since Sam Show has been messing around with this whole ghost system, why don't you be able to pull one of your ghosts in to fill that slot?
Ooh.
Yeah, and then the ghost is going to keep pressing a random button from full screen.
Yeah.
It's got some work to do.
Okay. Okay, so even older Tekken games were pretty good at their ghost system. So I think if they can pull it off back in like what, 05, 06 or whatever it was that 5 came out, if they could do it back then, I think we can implement a decent ghost system these days.
Right.
Okay. All right. Why don't we move along, and why don't we talk about this might be kind of drawn out, so I'm gonna kind of regulate it a little bit. So let's talk about characters, right? But what is one character, okay, that you would like to have featured in King of Fighters 15?
Oh crap! Hold on. I need this whole team right here. Like it's been 20 or so years. I'm over it. I get it. They died, but we set the stage. Bring everybody back. I don't care. Like just throw them in there. You can make the other forums DLC. Yeah. I don't care. Just put them in to start with. Everybody else can have whatever Duck Kings and B-Janets and all other crap that you got. Everybody can have whoever they want. I need the Orochi team.
Okay. All right. Elky?
He already said Duck King. As far as like someone who's not in 14, I think that would be a better way to put it. Yeah. I want Elizabeth back.
Ooh,
she's my girl. I want my Elizabeth back. 13 outfit, because to me it was just like, why would that character ever wear what she had on in 11?
Yeah, I didn't like 11.
Like, nice to look at, but did not suit her personality in the slightest. Yeah. I know it's just going to make my life harder, but yeah, I'm just greedy like that.
Okay. All right. Well said. I think a fair amount of people, share your sentiment to have Elizabeth back. Fans of 13. So yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see. Jojo, what's one character you would like to have be featured in King of Fighters 15?
Oh, here you go. Man. Let me see. I have one, and then I have like an honorable mention, but like it'd be too easy because like most of my friends know that I'm a Ash Crimson fan. That's actually where my namesake come from, at least the last part of it. That would be too easy. So that's not Ash Crimson. Crazy enough, I don't know if y'all remember this character from KOF 11. There was the sub boss from KOF 11, Shion. Now I know that character's like, you know, whatever. But the main reason I want to see that character come back, if we got dead characters coming back because of Verse, I want to see that character specifically because of like his fighting style was actually pretty dope. And I want to see if they can work a character with that kind of mechanic that character that he had, because I don't know if most people remember that character or even like know of that character from playing the story mode. But he had like I don't even know what you call it. It was like a nunchuck. He had two weapons basically. His fighting style was like the nunchuck and the staff, right?
The Naginata. They had the Naginata at first, and then I can't remember if they had another weapon. But basically, another weapon character in KOF would actually be pretty interesting. Like we have Billion Whip already. I think that already sets the tone of anything goes as far as what a character can use.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, heck, bring more weapon characters. I mean, within reason.
Hanfu,
Right.
Hanfu
Right.
from Fatal Fury special, real bout.
Oh yeah. Hanfu. Yep. The nunchuck, Jackie Chan inspiration.
Yeah,
That character, Jackie Chan. I'm sorry. But honorable mention though, man, I don't know how this character is going to work coming back. Whether it's a dinosaur or a bird or a reptile, or not reptile. I forgot what I told my friend. If T-Zuck's going to come back, he should be like another form of something. You notice that he was a bird at first when we first seen him in the Fatal Fury series. Then he was a dinosaur after he lost to Nelson. And now I'm just curious if he's going to come up with another gimmick or he's just going to return to a baby face, you know, be a big wrestling fan. I got
animal every game.
Yeah, he'll be a bear.
You might be an alligator, man. You know?
Hold on. I'm not saying it wouldn't be good for sales to make him into like a wolf or a fox next time around, but it is going to radically change his fan base.
His fan base is already crazy enough. Trust me, I've seen that. I've seen the side of the internet. We don't want to go there.
Yeah, that's mine though.
Okay.
There's so many good characters they have though that I had to, reach down deep for that question.
Okay. All right, great, cool. Thanks for sharing. Kenchi, who's one character you would like to see be featured?
Man, I think everyone already knows what I'm gonna say, but bring back my girl Momoko.
Oh my goodness.
Just give me Momoko. I want my Unchained character, okay? I don't like Angel. Just give me Momoko. That's my Unchained character. And by God, was she fun. Like, I spent probably 30 hours just in training mode learning different Unchained routes and gimmicks with her. So, like, I just want her back. And just because Calvin's not here, just put Tongue in the game just so I can have him to play with again. But yeah, just had to throw that out there. But yeah, personally, I just want Momoko. That's the only character like that stands at the top of the list that I know doesn't actually have a guaranteed spot. Like all the characters I play, I have no doubt that they're going to be in the game again. They're always in the game. Kyo, Kim, Athena, like I'm not worried about them. I'm worried about Momoko.
Speaking of staples, I already tweeted this, but I just want to put it on the podcast just for I don't know, for collection's sake. Please do not ask for any character who is always in KOF. If I see anybody's like, oh man, I hope Athena's in the game, or I hope Kyo's in the game. Like, do you really think they're gonna make a KOF without these characters? Please ask for somebody who's never always there.
Right. I agree. That's what I'm saying. Just give me Momoko because she's only had one game.
Like when they make those character polls, like for like, oh, who do you want to see in a future KOF game? Those characters shouldn't even be on the poll. Like, take Mai off the poll, take Benimaru off the poll, take K-Dash off the poll. Like, if a character has been in the game every game since their first game, do not ask for them because they're going to.
I was gonna say, you know what's crazy? There has been an instance where, like, I want to say in 11, like some characters just been like absent, like, and 2003. Now that I think about it too, but like in 11 especially, Mai and Robert wasn't in the game initially. They weren't until the console versions got released that let's put them in the game. But originally in the arcade releases for 11, Mai and Robert, who's like main characters, weren't in the game.
But see, any character that they did that with, because I know Leona wasn't in 11 either, but any staple character that they left out of a specific game, they immediately brought that character back because they knew that like the fan base just had a conniption. Like like Mai, I think Mai wasn't in she wasn't in 12 like at all. Like she wasn't added later or anything like that, and people went ballistic. Like people were just like, the series is trash now, and how could you leave out such a perfect character, and blah 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 blah. And then like these people exploded when they saw her in 13. Like that's how SNK has made that mistake before, and that's why I highly doubt they'll ever do that again. So like if a character has been in literally every game or like 90% of KOF games, they're going to be there.
All right, y'all remember that trailer for Smash Ultimate where they're all facing off against all the master hands?
Yeah.
And it's just slaughtering one after another. If that was them eliminating characters from being in the next KOF, then Kirby is Athena. You cannot get rid of Athena.
Everybody dies with Athena.
I still hold out hope for the debut of Yuri as Miss Karate.
Ooh, okay, that's a fair like asterisk to put on my last statement. Like, if you want a certain form of a staple character, then that's a fair thing to request. Because I would love to see Mr. Karate too.
Okay. Word.
Oof.
I wouldn't mind seeing a different form of Kyo.
Shoot, which one? The clones, or
I know
before he got beat up? Before he got beat up, which one?
I don't know. It's man.
I like Kusanagi.
Yeah, I like Kusanagi too. I like Rekka Kyo. Yeah, maybe just like with 13, just have it like that. Just a Fireball Kyo, a Rekka Kyo.
That's crazy. Why did he go back in 13? Because he was both digging like from like 97 all the way, or
96 up to 12.
Yeah, from 96 to that, he just 11 he was doing both because he had both movesets in 11.
He did.
But then went back to like 95, 94. That always confused me. But then they just put Neskio, but I'm like, I ain't counting that. I want that classic version, which I originally put was doing what he was doing in 94 and 95. I was always wondering that.
Yeah. Word. All right. Well, on my end, one character I would like to see come back to KOF would be Hanako, because I loved Hanako in O2UM.
Oh,
that was my main girl.
Hanako was my favorite character that I didn't play.
Well, in O2, she's pretty damn good. Pretty cheap character.
That was the sumo girl, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know if
I'm an advocate for sumo, so I agree. Bring her back too.
Yeah,
I don't know if she'll like achieve the same level of greatness as she was in O2UM, but it would be cool to have her back in some form.
Oh, you mean where she goes?
When what? Yeah, you gotta cut out a little bit.
I was saying where she just goes like, see that Shimasa just takes you to the corner for free because like her grab just does that.
Oh yeah. You can be on the other end of the corner and she'll just like not even turn around. She can just push you to the other end of the corner, of the screen. But yeah, bringing Hinako back would be pretty cool. I think that.
Does anybody want to bounce back?
Who?
Bao, Cycle Soldiers?
No.
I think he should come back.
Actually, all right. Here's my proposal. We have 2 Cycle Soldier teams. So we have the classic with like Athena, Kensu, and Chin, and then we have Momoko, Bao, and then make like a new Cycle Soldier character, and then you can have your Bao if they do that.
I'm all right with that.
Oh man, that character is a nightmare.
No, not even a new Psycho Soldier. Just put in another Kenso. Like, 'cause you got two different movesets. You got two different movesets. Fireball Kenso and
But that would just be like
Kenso.
that would just be an EX character, wouldn't he?
Yeah, put him there, but make his like dark twin brother, not actually Kenso.
Yeah, because the only reason why he was fighting the other way because he lost his powers apparently throughout the Nest saga, and then Bao like somehow gave him energy. I don't know, it was crazy. Something like that.
They already put him in that VN. That's enough appearances.
I don't want to talk about KOF for girls. I really don't.
Yeah. We can do that another time. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But yo, check this out. All right, I have an idea. Something that we can do. All right, next time, I would like to kind of talk about King of Fighters 15, but talk about the like recommendations for SNK to promote the game and also community building. I did have that listed for this episode, but I think having it in a separate episode will be a bit better. As far as like runtime and having a more focused discussion. So I would definitely like to talk with y'all again about ways we can kind of not repeat the same things that we've been kind of doing as a KOF community here in the U.S. As far as like player retention and player growth and stuff like that. Because I kind
community outreach is a big thing too.
Yeah. Because I definitely feel like with KOF games in USA, we always have a big boom and then things start fizzling out after a while. And I feel like the game that kind of had the longest like longevity for a while was probably 13. I thought 13 was like USA's game for a while, mainly because there wasn't that much competition for fighters around that time. People still playing shit on PS2s when like KOF 13 was kind of out, 2011.
We have an American Evo champ for 13.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
Right.
Yeah, that's so like. I know this is a tired topic, but I really don't like the bad rap SNK games get. It's like everybody loves it when it first comes out, and then it just dies off, and then you have the same people who've been playing KOF for 20 plus years playing all over again, and like you have the same type 8s and all this kind of stuff. It's like they need to work on player retention, but then honestly, it's not all on SNK. Like sometimes it's just a community. Like they just need to be more consistent, and it's like you have those people that like, oh yeah, like I love Geese, but then like they only really play CVS 2, but
I love Geese, only plays Tekken.
Right. and it's like Lou just said in the chat, and that's obviously a perfect statement. Like KOF is the soccer of fighting games. Like it's the whole world loves it, but only a certain subsection of America loves it.
Yeah, I agree. There's always going to be a small niche game here. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like that kind of forever. But there has to be some sort of way that we can kind of, improve upon that a little bit. Unless they just totally just like change the game so much. Even like Samsho now is growing, and expanding and stuff like so well.
But we're only in month 2, and honestly, like I knew Sam Show would explode when it first came out, but I'm really worried about going forward after Evo. I'm like, I really need these people to keep interest going forward after Evo and Sam Show.
Yeah, and I don't want to hear any of the things we talked about pre-show.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we do this? Why don't we talk about the like I said before, about how SNK could probably promote 15 better and how we can do a little more community outreach for 15. Maybe talk about some things we're doing right, like correct with 14 and the community now, and things that we can improve upon, and lay out some sort of foundation or some sort of outline. That way we can implement it when 15 comes out, or remind ourselves before it comes out, to remind ourselves, and it could be something that the community can kind of collectively agree on, or a subset of us or something like that. So yeah, let's talk about that next time. Let's plan a time, maybe next week or something like that. I'll let y'all know. But yeah, I would love to put a to be continued on that. So
Most definitely.
cool. All right, why don't we throw some shout outs in the air and see each other next time. So Kenshi, would you like to start off the shout outs?
Oh man, putting the heat on me. Let's see here. Damn, I've been so disconnected from the community lately. I don't really know if I have any shoutouts, but shoutouts to all the streamers still hustling with KOF 14 because I know I haven't. Sam Show came out and I what's KOF 14? But yeah, shoutouts to all the guys still playing. You guys know I'll definitely be back for 15. 24-hour stream coming up. Day it launches happening. I'm taking the day off work. I don't care.
Yeah, Sam.
But yeah, shout outs to the guys continuing to play. Shout outs to everyone, continuing to watch and support, KOF and being there, even though like Sam Show came out and the community kind of like tried it out, drifted away for a bit. Everyone's still playing. I have mad respect for you guys because I don't know if I can play that game too much anymore. But I'll try. Shout out to everyone on here because y'all guys are awesome.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so
I got one. I got one. I just thought of it. Shout out to Crispy Kaiser. That dude's a hero, man. He's doing like so much work.
Yeah, that dude's he puts in a lot of work. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I would love to kind of like talk to him a little bit more. You know what I'm saying, about some things. But yeah,
you definitely need to get him on here and talk to him.
Word, we'll see. We'll definitely see. I'll keep that in mind. That'll be a very interesting discussion.
Yeah, do a straight up interview, like one-on-one.
Okay, yeah.
Have people submit questions.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. All right, I'm going to write that down. But, JoJo, you have any shout-outs?
Always, my man. Definitely for one, you guys, everybody at the Dream Cancel. Shout out to you guys, everyone in friends and family, for sure. Then just the SK family, just the SK fans, players. Shout out to you guys. James, Chicago scene, the Vegas scene, Detroit scene, Indiana scene. If I'm forgetting y'all, please forgive me. Just everybody in general, just support SNK, whether it's King of Fighters, Sam Show, the throwbacks, don't matter. Y'all will keep SNK going, and them knowing that you enjoy their games, even the old ones, will help them continue to do good. As have they been doing good as far as their comeback ever since coming back, basically. Shout out to James, and as he would say, shout out to the moms.
Yeah.
I had to represent. Man, there's so many people, and just in general, just to keep it short, just shout out to everyone. Just keeping it alive, and I'm just a little small, note about what we were saying about just like helping the community grow. And I've definitely been slacking on my end. I created the KOF 14 LTO page, and then obviously been slacking. Since 14 has kind of died down in America. But definitely, I don't know what I'm going to do as far as that page. Probably maybe make a new page, or I don't know. But I'm definitely going to work on when I get everything situated in IRL. On my end, definitely going to be back because I'm definitely excited and hyped for 15, and see what I can do for the community, get some connections going, talk to some people. The game catches on out here in America, hopefully bigger than at least for 14, because I think 13 did pretty well as far as like fanfare in America.
Mm-hmm.
So if 15 gets just as big as 13 did, and possibly bigger, it'll definitely help the game grow for sure. Because as of right now, I feel like Sam shows the game right now to do it through the simplicity and accessibility for players to get into, as opposed to like movement, just in general for a game like that. So
yes.
Just shout out to that, basically.
Great, man. That was a very Motivational, inspirational shout out.
Oh,
All right, Elkie Doris, you have shout out?
Yeah, absolutely. A shout out to the whole King of Fridays crew who keeps showing up week in and week out, and all their support that's allowed me to keep going. Shout outs to Kick Punch Block. Shout outs to the DMV KOF community, which is being held up by Ahmed Amido 310.
310. Yeah. Like a Bible verse. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever numbers he has on there.
Doing the Lord's work. I mean, if you're in the area, man, stop by Xanadu on Thursday nights. He'll be there and be there to help you out. And just community at large, I guess. Just keep going. I try not to evangelize stuff. I'm like, man, if people see you having fun, they're gonna wonder why, and they'll at least check out and try to figure it out. And if they get it, they get it.
amen.
So just keep having fun. Let people know you're having fun, and people will find us on their own. So
Indeed. All right, well said, man. That was great.
yeah, big up to you guys in general. Just you, Sharpie, Magnets, JDR, Afro Dynamic, all you guys. Y'all pretty dope, man.
Indeed. And we have not last. I'll do the last shout outs, but we got Dizzy. You got shout outs?
Yeah, shout outs to Dream Cancel and Kick Punch Block,
Yes.
both actually giving me the opportunity to connect with the SNK community a little better. Also, literally anyone who's ever supported an SNK game, no matter how you did it, whether you are a player, a streamer, drew fan art, role played a character from it, like whatever you do that like supportive of anything SNK related. I don't care if it's KOF, Metal Slug, whatever. SNK is where they are right now because of you guys. Like the outpouring of support, no matter how small or how big, KOF 15 is able to be a thing because of the support that you guys gave that company. So this is our time to celebrate. So let's just have a good time together when the release date comes around.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much for that shout out, and very I would say enthusiasm and very motivational words. The shout outs again very emotional and motivational, so that's always good. But yeah, shout outs on my end. Yo, I just want to thank all of y'all for joining us on another podcast. I know it's been a while, but I mean, at least the topic is good. Hopefully we'll see y'all next week or so. But yeah, I would like to kind of start always back from the beginning real quick with the promo and plugs real quick. So yeah, we don't know when this game is coming out, King of Fighters 15. If you would like to support us, go to dreamcastle.com/shop. If you'd like to donate to us, just go to our Patreon. Yeah, I got a question for all y'all. So if y'all are able to donate, will be some cool like rewards, you think? Like what will make you want to like donate?
Oof.
The thing is, there's a lot you could do for a Patreon reward, and it's like narrowing it down and giving it a tier is probably like the hardest part.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, how much for the Desmond photo set?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I don't know, man. I might charge like $100 or something for that. I don't know. Like
Worth every penny.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a good question though.
Well, I know. See, the thing is, we would need like an actual like I don't know if we actually have an artist on hand, but like
yeah.
maybe like a higher tier could be like, all right, well, you could get drawn together with your favorite SNK character. I think that would probably be
That would be dope.
a cool reward that a lot of people will like to donate for, because I see it all the time where people like to get commissions with their favorite character. I mean, I know I've done it, but I think if they make that more readily available to the communities, I saw, there was a Neo Geo World Tour stop, and I can't remember the player's name, but he had a really, really dangerous Orochi Yashiro in '98, and he got drawn with him, and it was like one of the dopest pieces of art I've ever seen.
Wow.
Oh my god, I can't remember his name. But either way, like, I think that would be a good, like, I don't know, maybe $50, $75 reward, maybe, or something like that.
Okay.
No, only because I really support artists and what they do, and I feel like
art can be time consuming.
Yeah, and
that's
a lot of them need to charge a lot more for their crafting than they currently are. That's the only reason I said those prices. Like, it doesn't have to be that exactly, but I feel like if we could get an artist on board, like with Dream Cancel, I think that would be a really good reward for people.
Okay, all right. Anyone else have any other quick ideas with rewards?
I'm like a big supporter of merch, and since we're talking about artists, Saltamia, like, let's see if she's willing to partner up and like do like merch for a tier or something.
Okay.
Because, like, getting keychains or something for subscribing every month, like a monthly keychain, that'd be cool. Or a new sticker every month from her, that'd be cool.
I spend so much money at her table. Every event I go to that she's at, I spend so much money at her table.
Dude, I love her stuff, man.
My PS4 is drowned in her stickers, I swear.
I have
my car is.
Like, I hadn't had a keychain since college, and like the Vanessa one she made was like, I gotta have it. I have to have it on me at all times. Something like that's probably a little better, because anything that's like, once you start something that's like custom specific to one patron.
Yeah.
That's got to be the expensive.
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I said. It's like that has to be one of the highest tiers, like the whole art thing. Yeah.
But something that, is made once and is able to kind of reward a whole bunch of people that are willing to support Dream Cancel would be a far more viable solution, I think, unless you were talking about a very high tier.
Word. Okay. Damn, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. All right, cool. Well, you know what? We can brainstorm about this later. So, let's keep going. Shout out to everyone in our Discord. Really, really appreciate it. Just a reminder, people, Sam Show DLC, August, September, October, November, December. Characters coming through, man. We should be getting, Rimi Ruru? What's how you?
Rimi
Ruru. I think she's out already.
Yeah, might be.
She's out in Japan, but we still have to wait until tomorrow.
Yeah. And Shizumuru, Maru, and then freaking Wan Fu, and man, all the others. Man, it should be pretty cool. Just stay on the lookout. Also, again, King Fighters 15 coming out. We don't know when, but yeah, that's really about it. So again, I want to thank the discussion panel for joining us tonight. Really, really appreciate it. We're gonna expand a little more what we were talking about earlier. A couple minutes ago about community outreach for 15, because I think it'll be needed. So yeah, that's about it. So again, big shout outs to all the KOF communities and crews and players that's hanging in with us, all the SNK players worldwide. Just keep playing. And this concludes another installment of the Dream Council podcast. My name is Desmond, the administrator of DreamCouncil.com. And until next time, keep playing, keep learning, and have fun. Peace.